And so one of the major things that we were able to accomplish was we developed Voices from Within. And so Voices from Within was our movement to redefine what it means to pay a debt to society. Initially, we started off as Forgotten Voices. EB knows that. But we channeled into Voices from Within. And so I was able to bring Dan Slepian, who's a supervising producer at NBC, into the prison to work with guys of like minds, right? There was 11 of us. It started at 17 when we were Forgotten Voices, and then we went down to 11 because dudes started going to different spots. You know, dudes was getting short. Like, everybody that we did time with is pretty much home now. Right. You know, there's a few unfortunate guys still in there. We trying to get them out, and I'm about to talk to all that and speak to that soon. The reality is we created this mission, Voices from Within, and I'm rolling it out now. I got 9 attorneys working with me right now, pro bono, in the development of this, right? But when I first came home, based on the work that I was doing on the inside, we had senators coming in. We had all kinds of public officials coming to speak to us because we were saying, yo, listen, it's not enough. Redefining what it means to pay a debt to society had nothing to do with innocence or guilt. It has to do with humanity, right? And so the reality is that we were reaching out to the communities, reaching out to, you know, public officials and saying, yo, there's individuals in here that were once part of the problem. They were the domestic terrorists in your community, but they have matured. And in that level of maturity, now they want to give you insight so that you can have foresight to protect society, right? Because we have hindsight based on our experiences. And so when you use those different levels of vision, you're able to refocus the lens, the social lens, right?
That's right.
And so we were able to give them the truth, like the things that they needed to hear to be able to save people's lives. And so now, being out there, that's exactly what we're doing.
Being an asset to your community.
Exactly. We turn liabilities into assets. That's what we do. We transform lives. And that was the mission at Hudson Link for higher education, right? And so since I've been home, you know, my first month out, I was offered a job as the program director for the Frederick Douglass Project for Justice. And so the Frederick Douglass Project for Justice doesn't even exist in New York. They were giving it to me to start here in New York. It exists in DC, but it's a multi-state program. So what we do essentially is we believe in proximity, right? And we believe that proximity matters to the point whereas if you haven't gone inside of a prison and met incarcerated individuals, then you shouldn't feel like you have the right to speak about things that you don't understand. To know is to experience. And if you want the experience, I'll bring you into a prison. I'll sit you down and we'll have facilitated meetings between community members and incarcerated individuals. And we can learn from each other, right? We can connect on a real level in real time where you can ask real questions and get real answers from people who understand the impact of crime and incarceration like no one else.
Absolutely.
And take that to the bank instead of what you hear on the news or what you see in movies, right? Because this shit is real. And so what I am is an advocate for truth, right? And so I've been able to utilize the skills that I cultivated inside, and now I'm using it outside with like crazy levels of resources to go back inside and start changing people's lives in there and out here, because there's people out here that need to be changed too. Right. And sometimes that trip inside can change how you view things. Right. Because people are out here drinking and driving, and you could end up taking somebody's life and you could destroy yours. There's a lot of different things that can happen to individuals out here that will change your life in the blink of an eye. My story is the testimony. Right. I was walking around living my day-to-day life. The next day, I was incarcerated for a murder that I didn't even know took place.
Right.
So your life can change. It can happen to you.
In a heartbeat.
You know what I'm saying? And so people need to start becoming a lot more conscious. And so raising consciousness is my move. And yeah, inside they called me Blaze, but I've rebranded myself. I'm JJ for Justice now, because that's all I'm doing. I'm a proponent for justice and truth. I'm out there and I'm giving it to these people. And I've been going all across different states. I remember one of my craziest moments. I did, in 10 days, I traveled through 4 states, 3 time zones, went to 4 different prisons, and then landed a talk in Denver, giving people my stand. And my stand was taking a stand for humanity. It was like a TED talk, right? And I'm giving it to the people and letting them know what my experience is, so that they could pull on the heartstrings of an individual who's innocent. But it was so that you could see through the reflection of my eyes that even the guilty deserve to be treated with human dignity. Right? Yeah. And so that's the message that I continue to push out there. Absolutely. So that the doors of mass incarceration can start opening, and it doesn't have to be so massive anymore, right? Because E and I were in prison when it was at a peak of 71, 72,000 under Pataki. And quietly, people don't give Cuomo the respect that he deserves, at least to what he did with us. Closed 11 prisons, right? That's right. And brought the population down to 31,000 quietly.
That's right.
And these dudes ain't recidivating no more because we holding them down.
Right.
We holding each other down,
right.
Which is something that changed. Because back in the days, if you were associating with a known, a prior felon or something along those lines, you could be violated and put back in jail.
Yeah.
Now, we're able to communicate, to work with each other, to say, yo, you need a job? Yo, they got jobs over here.
Yeah.
Yo, you need some help? Yo, Exodus got a place for you to stay over here.
And to make a difference in our community.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And this is why this platform was created, man.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you, to our listeners that's out there, if they wanted to get in touch with you, if they wanted to follow your story, they wanted to follow your movement on what you're doing, how can they reach you?
Oh, listen, all you gotta do is watch TV every once in a while. Nah, but seriously, there's a lot going on. So the easiest way to get to me is through social media. If you personally know me, then you can get my personal number, but that's not happening here, right? So
plug in your social media.
JJ for Justice, either on the gram or TikTok. You can also put my name in on Facebook, John Adrian-Valasquez, or John Adrian JJ Velasquez. You're gonna see that. There's a website, Free John Adrian-Valasquez. It's been up since I was incarcerated. It's still up. I'll go and check all that, but I'm most active on the gram, TikTok, sometimes Facebook. Listen, Google me, and it's gonna be a whole lot of stuff is gonna come up. It's been all types of documentaries I've been involved with, all types of podcasts.
That's success after lockdown.
Yeah.
Like that, I know, there's a lot of brothers and sisters that talk about it, right? And then when they walked out that door, it's like, they forget about them. But you, Brother Eric, brothers from Hudson Lane, Exodus, creating a platform, a voice for the ones that are in there, for the ones that are still out here, to try to change the dynamics of our people. Because if we don't take control and start leading our people into the right path, we will become
into the wrong.
In the wrong path, and we will become extinct.
That's
okay,
right.
And our people will just be incarcerated people. That's it.
No question.
So, yo, shout out again to you, brother. Thank you, man.
Again, man, I just want to thank you for coming through.
Listen, man,
know what I mean?
I've been wanting to do it. It's just all about time.
No question.
Time is crazy, but
and I
gotta make time for guys like y'all.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate what y'all doing. And you gotta keep it up, man.
Definitely.
The truth of the matter is, our power comes from amplifying our voices and sharing our testimony. So we gotta keep doing it. Success after lockdown is the shit. Make it happen, man.
That's right. Peace. No question.
For all our listeners out there, man, thank you for tuning in. Again, we had John Adrian-Valasquez, now known as JJ Justice. Please tune in to us at Success After Lockdown on Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If you have somebody that you know that got a good, successful story, want to reach out to us, you can always send us an email at successafterlockdown@gmail.com.